Hello. With Halloween out of the way, now we're on the home stretch to Christmas, which is a terrifying thought, but luckily we've got a bucket load of games that came out this month to keep us nice and distracted. So here's the November roundup. First up, we have the Spyro Reignited Trilogy, which is a very emotional moment for me. I loved these games as a kid, and now I finally know how everybody else felt when the Crash Bandicoot remaster was released. It's developed by the company that brought you Skylanders, called Toys for Bob, and they've done a brilliant job with it. It's clear that the games have been rebuilt from the ground up, and they've modernised everything from the look to the voices to the soundtrack. All of the dragons that you free have their own individual designs and are differently characterised. And also, Spyro's adorable little idle animations are so cute. I don't know if they took inspirations from dogs or cats or both, but I want a Spyro to live with me in my flat. One thing I will say, which is true for a lot of these remasters, is that you can see how the game has aged. It is hard to see underneath all of the beautiful modernising that they've done, but some of the levels are pretty simple, which I guess could be because it's a kid's game at heart. None of this ruins it at all though, and I have explored every corner of every level, and I can't recommend this game enough. I'm a huge Fallout fan, and a huge Bethesda fan in general, but I haven't had a chance to pick up Fallout 76 yet. I definitely plan to, but it seems like some peculiar decisions have been made regarding the game's development. To give an example, which the gaming press has talked about at length, there are no human NPCs in the world at all. The only people you will encounter out in the open are other players. And while that's an interesting concept, one of my favourite parts of previous Fallout games were the colourful characters. You know, happening upon established outposts with their own stories and their own lives, as if they sort of existed outside of you. But this pretty much guarantees that the world will largely be empty or hostile. Quests are collected and progressed by playing pre-recorded messages and listening to characters from the past talk about them. From what I've heard from beta players, this involves a lot of time spent listening to stories rather than being involved in them. And if you're in a group with your friends, you sort of have to tell them all to shut up so that you can hear what the next plot point is. I'm definitely going to give this one a try because the world looks so incredible, and I know that multiplayer online games like this really take on a whole new life once they're out in the world and people start developing in them. I am actually cautiously optimistic. Just let me know what you think about this game in the comments below. Another month and another Spider-Man DLC. This one's called Turf Wars, and it's the next episode of the City That Never Sleeps story. If you can tear yourself away from Red Dead Redemption 2 long enough to spend some time with your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man, this DLC adds in new missions, new story, new Spidey suits, and introduces the villain Hammerhead. Also being released is a cute update to the camera mode that includes frames and stickers, so you can expect to see Spider-Man photos popping up all over social media again. Okay, YouTuber's Life OMG Edition. I'm not gonna lie, it looks as trashy as it looks fun. This game was popular on the PC, and also on YouTube, surprise surprise, and might be, to me, weirdly one of the most interesting releases this month. As your channel grows, you can attend events, meet your fans, and move into bigger houses and become a YouTube superstar. Which to me sounds like The Sims if you could only have one sim and one career. But I am absolutely fascinated by it. This is bound to be a big one this Christmas. It seems like every kid under the age of 12 wants to be a YouTube star. So if you have kids of your own that age, or maybe nieces or nephews, this could be a really good one to get them. Now, after that little detour, we've got Darksiders 3. It's a hack-and-slash action game where you play as Fury. She's one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse and the sister of war and death, who were the playable characters of the previous two Darksiders games. You're tasked with defeating the 7 deadly sins, and there's loads of sick weapons, moves, and abilities that you can use to progress through the levels. Fury can take on different elemental forms unlocked throughout the game, and then use those new abilities to progress into areas in previous levels that were locked up before, so classic sort of platforming action. Every time you beat down one of the 7 deadly sins, enemies across the entire world will get stronger, so the game gets more difficult as you progress. Generic baddies in this game are also stronger than in previous installments, but there's less of them, so it means that each fight is a little bit more personal and is a bit more interesting than just hacking through waves and waves of nobodies. The visual style and the story behind Darksiders games has always really intrigued me, and this one is no different. Looking forward to trying it out. Well, that's the lot. So next time I speak to you, it's going to be the last month of 2018 and pretty damn close to Christmas, which is a very scary thought. But until next time, remember, for all the latest games, visit us in-store or go to webuy.com. See you next time.